some ice for my cup, I drink wet.
What's up, YouTube? So hopefully y'all can hear me better. I'm actually using my um, AirPods. Hopefully the audio's a little bit better. I don't know. But today's August the 8th, 2022, and I want to make a video about this abortion ban situation. Um, yet the state of Indiana has officially banned abortion. And, you know, like, I feel like in this country, we're split between religion. We have secular, and then we have religion, right? And even within the religion, even within the church, we got people who don't agree on certain things. You may have some Christians that believe in abortion, or may not believe in abortion, but believe in choice. Me personally, I do believe in pro-choice. I don't like abortion, but I do believe that women should have the right to choose to do whatever, as long as it's being done in a reasonable manner. I really don't want a country that, where getting an abortion is. I don't want to live in a country where abortion is desensitized. You understand what I mean? I don't want getting pregnant and having to cut out again. So, like I said, I didn't want to live in a country where abortion is desensitized. I don't want abortion to be in the same category as going to the bathroom. Like, I hate to use that kind of analogy, but I don't want it to become something that's normal where it's, there's no emotions involved. I don't want it to become something like, yeah, I got pregnant, I just had an abortion and whatever. I feel like it's a little bit dehumanizing. I'm not saying that, once again, like I believe that you should have the right to get it, but I don't want abortion to become a thing where people have become so desensitized that it's started to dehumanize, life. You understand what I'm saying? So now, I don't agree with the ban on abortion. I do believe that there should be restrictions. I'm not going to go in detail with those restrictions, but I do believe that there should be some restrictions on abortion. I don't think that it should be outlawed, though. I believe that it should be legal. But I don't think that it should be encouraged. Legal, but not encouraged. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. There could be some pros and cons to it. Some of the cons, of course, you're going to have women having children that they probably don't want, or probably unable to take care of, even though that's already happening. Even when abortion was legal, we still had a lot of people having children that they can't take care of. So that doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to be something that had an effect on out of wedlock births and unwanted births, because even when it was legal, you still had a lot of issues where with people having unwanted children. And but I think one of the pros, maybe, I don't know, maybe it will kind of force young women and young men to be a little more responsible. I know I might get a little backlash for that, but I do believe that if you know that you can't get an abortion when you're out there having sex, you going to think twice about um, the consequences of your actions. You might become more conscious about repercussions and take the precautions to protect yourself. Maybe contraception will be taken more seriously. Um, I think because when you live in a country where you can easily get an abortion, not saying it's easy because it does cost money, but when you live in a country where you can get an abortion like that, it seems like people just didn't take contraception too seriously. But when you have a country with strict and with strict laws on abortion, then people would be forced to be more cautious about their sexual activities. Um, you know, there's a lot of contraception options out there. I think women have more options than men do when it comes to contraception. But once again, I think that women should have the right to have an abortion if they feel that they need to. Some states, they don't even allow abortion if it was rape. Or I shouldn't say that word. I'm going to say grape instead. Um, and incest. So you got some states that even if it's a case of incest or grape, they still not going to let you have an abortion. So I think women are just going to have to fight uh, for whatever. It's going to be a state individual thing. I think I said this in my last video. I actually talked about abortion. I have a video that I've already talked about this before, where I said I think that states should have the power to create their own laws. I don't really like the idea of the federal government making laws that everybody has to follow. Of course, yes, we should have some federal laws, of course, like homicide, uh, theft, even rape, kidnapping, human trafficking. All these things are federal crimes. Those are the universal laws. But as far as personal or like more local decisions, like smaller things, like like alcohol, uh, marijuana use, just local judicial laws. I think the states should have the right to create their own laws, and I think abortion should be one of them. But the problem is the people in power. See, what I've noticed in this country, and some of you might understand what I say when I say this. You have a lot of people who are making laws who are not affected by the laws that they make. You got people make laws and regulations that affect other people, but they don't affect themselves, the lawmakers themselves. Perfect example, like the situation with immigration. You have the Texas, the governor of Texas, who are sending illegal immigrants into the country, putting them on the bus and sending them to Washington D.C. and New York City, so-called sanctuary cities. And now they're complaining about the immigrants that they're letting into the country, because now they have to deal with the consequences or the issues that Texas and California and all the other states on the border have had to deal with for years, and now they're feeling it. And these lawmakers, they pass these laws not thinking that these immigrants will actually come to their city. You notice most of these sanctuary cities are on the East Coast. I think Los Angeles is a sanctuary city too, but California has always been kind of flooded with immigrants from Mexico anyway. But that's becoming a problem when you have this fluctuation of all these people. And the question is, do you have the resources to take care of all of them anyway? So and the kind of effect that it's having on the people already living in those areas. So some of these workers are working for like a penny on a dollar. They're working for doing the same work Americans are willing to do for cheaper, way cheaper. And it's like, how can you compete with them? And it's funny because that's similar to even when slavery ended. You had a lot of white folks who were complaining about blacks working jobs for a penny on a dollar, and they were concerned about their jobs because blacks were they were doing the hard labor jobs for way cheaper. And just how can you compete with that? And so, I don't know. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You got lawmakers who are passing laws that are not having any effect on them themselves, but they're affecting everyone else. That's why they don't. And that actually makes a lot of sense, because even me personally, like, I don't condone drugs, but even like stuff like marijuana, they used to lock people up in prison like for years for marijuana possession, like $5 worth of weed in their pocket. And I always wondered, why are the laws so tough on stuff like that? And I realized that the people passing those laws, they don't know what they're doing. They're not affected by the laws that they make. They're, a lot of them never even smoked weed before. And it's obvious. And same thing with, I think, with abortion. I think the people who are passing these laws, these abortion laws, are people who are not affected by the laws that they make. They're not in that situation, and they don't seem to care. And it's not all conservatives. You got Democrats who are anti-abortion as well. So, in my personal opinion, I think you just need to fight in your states. It's going to be a fight. More liberal states like California, and more liberal states. I live on the East Coast, so my state I live in, it's pretty much the same. They might change a few things in my state, but most states on the East Coast, the laws are pretty much the same, but it's mostly down south and the Midwest. But I also noticed that, I hate to sound prejudiced, but it seems like the states that are most against abortion, or most against the abortion, the rights of women. Well, I'm not gonna say rights of women. Well, I guess you can call that, but it seems like the states that are most conservative, or the most religious states, they tend to be less educated. I hate to say that, but it seems to be true. A lot of southern states, Midwest. Of course, you got a lot of educated people in the Midwest, but they're not. The East Coast and the West Coast tend to be the most educated. That's where the education levels tend to be the highest. So they also tend to be a little bit more open and understanding to people's personal situations. But when you have the religious states, and I'm religious myself, but I notice the more religious a state or territory tends to be, the more strict and more closed-minded they are about people's situations. They don't. It's like it's kind of like some churches, right? You have people like pastors and church ministers that will talk bad about people having sex outside of marriage, right? They'll get on you and shame you for doing it and shame you for getting pregnant. And the problem is most of them are married. You see that? They're married. The people who are shaming you for not holding yourself or controlling. So this video is gonna be choppy. My phone cut out again. I need more storage space on there. But anyway, I already deleted a whole bunch of apps and everything. But once I'm done, I'm gonna try to transfer it to another device. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, the churches. You got churches that who will condemn you for sexual behavior, but they're married themselves. They're not in the same situation themselves. You know, they're telling you stuff that has no effect on them, or it's not really affecting. They're not in the same situation you are. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's a tough situation, man, when you got people in power who are making laws that they themselves are not affected by. You know, it's a lot different when you're the one, when you're the recipient. You know, when you're on the receiving side. You know, I think the best thing you can do for now is just, I guess, do more research on contraception and do your best not to get pregnant if you don't want to. I think that abortion on the black market is gonna start seeing a lot more illegal abortions. Yeah, I think that a lot of women, you're gonna have a lot of wayward doctors, because some of the doctors in those states had businesses. So, and once they outlaw abortion, a lot of abortion clinics are losing a lot of business. They're losing their way of living. You know, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them get tempted to start doing backdoor abortions. So for cheaper, just to keep the money coming in, because everybody can't afford to drive all the way to another state just to get an abortion. So yeah, Indiana, I think, what's the other country, the other state? I want to say Kansas. Was it Kansas? I can't remember what state that was. There's another state that had a trigger law. No, Arkansas. Arkansas, they had a trigger law where the abortion went into law immediately. So I've actually been keeping tabs on it. But like I said, it's mostly seems to be conservative states, mostly states on the Bible Belt, states in the Midwest, states that are highly conservative, and they tend to be a little closed-minded to people's situations. I don't think that I in my personal opinion, just me, if I was a lawmaker, what I would do is I would legalize abortion, but the restrictions would be pretty tight, because in a way I want to give women the ability to get an abortion if they need to, but at the same time I would want to create a tone where I want you to be sexually responsible. So I don't want you out here just doing whatever, acting a fool, and then when you get pregnant you just get an abortion. I would want to create an atmosphere where you can get an abortion but at the same time, you need to be responsible. So that's what I would kind of do. Because I'm not saying all women who get abortions are just being promiscuous, but a lot of these abortions are not. They're not grape or incest most of the time. Sometimes, but most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's just people out here just having consensual sex, not wearing a condom, not using contraception, and a baby comes and you act like you don't know what the consequences of sex is. That's what I see. Some people might disagree with me, but that's just my personal opinion. So that's just how I think about it. You know, um, I'm just making another car vlog. I'm chilling right now. Um, I'm about to get something to eat. So I'm gonna go to a seafood place and get some. I'm gonna get a salmon sub, and maybe some mac and cheese, maybe a side of something. It's pretty hot today. Well, it's not as hot as. It's pretty much the same as it was my last vlog. I got my bottled water as usual. Let's see. Trying to think what else. Um, I guess that's all I really want to say about the situation, really. Sometimes when I turn off the camera, I think I got a new idea when I turn off the camera. Once I turn off the camera, I get a new idea. Yeah, that's it. All right, so I'll speak to y'all next time, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And I'm gonna get out of here. It looks like it's getting ready to start raining soon, so I'm gonna get something to eat, and then I'm gonna go to work, get some work done. All right.